Hey y'all, it's me, your girl Sassy Detroit Boss. So, a couple of days ago, I made a video just talking about surviving profitability. And as I'm sitting here, because today is Monday is money day, which means that I do all my invoicing. I go through tickets and invoices and everything. And so, what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent. I'm gonna be transparent. The last week and a half, I've been super stressed because I'm like, I have just one vendor that's like, hey, we behind on invoicing and payments. And I'm just like, I've never been behind on payments for this person or any of them. So I'm just confused and it's not making sense. Now, granted, I built a relationship with this vendor, this sub. I built a relationship with them. So where I messed up is I'm paying the invoices, but I'm not actually looking at the tickets and stuff like that because the job is so consistent. It's the same job, same thing every day. Everything is the same. So I'm pretty much knowing how much we're going to pay out. Unless we do like the second part of the job and it's big and we pushing out. And so ran into an issue where they was like, oh, we haven't got paid in 3 weeks. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just paid y'all like literally 2 times. And so I had to run back and think about it because I started getting frustrated. I'm like, okay, wait, this is not making sense. So this morning as I'm doing invoices and payroll, I'm looking at the invoices. Mind you, invoices are due on Saturday by 10 a.m. in order for them to be paid out on a 15-day net pay, right? For some reason, these invoices are I'm starting to pay. Like I might pay on a Monday and then I'm having to pay again on a Saturday. So I'm like, okay, this is not making sense. And then the vendor was just like pressuring me. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through all these invoices again, sit down and see what's going on. Cause I wanted to make sure, one, if I owed them some money, I needed to make sure I paid them. And two, if I didn't owe them any money, I needed to see what was going on. Because I try to make sure I stay on top. I know I'm on a net 30, so I know that the GC is not going to pay me for 30 days. So I pay out of my own pocket, and then I pay them. I get my money back. And just for that particular job. The other jobs I get paid every week, so I'm able to pay my vendors weekly. This particular job, no. And the reason why is because I don't want to mix. I could take the money from the other jobs and pay this vendor, but then that's just commingling funds and all that, and I'm not doing all that. So anyway, I started going through tickets. Let me tell you something. First and foremost, tickets are important. Your tickets are your money. These tickets need to match invoices. If you send, okay, let's take myself out of it. If you're in a position as a prime or a broker, let's say broker, and the construction company is the GC, you're the broker, you have the contract, you're brokering out the work to a sub, to some vendors. Whatever they tickets are, when they invoice you, the tickets need to match the invoice to the T. That's the only way you pay them. You're going to run into vendors that's going to be pressuring you to pay. Oh, okay, the invoice is due on a Saturday, but they send you the invoice on a Tuesday. Like, you have to watch all of that. So what I was doing today is, as I was going through the invoices, I was like, wait a minute. How do I have 3 weeks of invoice for the furthest week? Meaning work was done from, let's say, work was done from the 3rd to the 7th, right? And the invoice date is the 8th. So Monday through Friday was the 3rd through the 7th. The invoice date is on a Saturday, as it's supposed to be. And I'm supposed to pay them 15 days later. Well, what I was running into as I was doing these invoices today was I was getting invoices that were from the 3rd to the 7th, right? Invoice date is on the 8th. But then I have another one that's from the 10th to the 17th, but the invoice date is the 8th. Then I got another one that's from the 20th to, let's say, the 22nd, but the invoice date is the 8th. So essentially, the vendor is taking the invoices before they're even the work is being done, and is already putting these invoices in for the furthest date that was out from work. And then he's sending me the invoice late. So I'm in a rat race just to pay the invoice and not paying attention. I'm actually paying before time. Whose fault is that? Mine, because I've been so focused on getting these other contracts and doing that. And then my payroll girl, she has been out sick. So I've been just not paying attention. But as I sat down and looked at it, I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So really, this invoice that's due on the 23rd, these other two weeks of pay that's connected to this invoice really are not due until January. So when I caught that, I immediately was like, okay, so this is the game that the vendor is playing. They do that. Furthermore, I started to go through the tickets, and I'm looking at the invoice, and I'm like, oh, wait, they're charging me an extra $5 on each load. That's not the rate that we agreed upon. Then I'm looking some more, and I'm like, wait a minute, they're adding hours. Whose fault is this? Mine, of course, because I haven't been paying attention, because one, I haven't delegated the work to other people, which is one of my biggest problems that I have, because I've been burnt so much with people. It's hard for me to delegate or trust somebody to be able to do the work, because again, stuff like this, people will try to get over on you. But that goes back to just trusting the Lord and that he's going to lead you and lead the right people around you. So that's my problem. I did that. So now I'm going through all the invoices. The ones that's already been paid prior, they're already done. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to argue about that because I've already paid it. I lost whatever. I don't feel like going in the back and forth. But these invoices that's now, even though the vendor is like, oh, we need to get paid. No, I've already caught you in your lie, and I already see what kind of game you're running. So now, hold up. You're going to get paid when you get paid, but I got to go through every one of these invoices in every ticket. Everything has to match. So that's the first thing. Another thing is, if you have a job or you have a vendor doing 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, let's just say 3 of those jobs are the same job, but one is off-site, one is on-site, and then one is hourly and one is by the load. Your vendor should be invoicing you for each one, not putting them all on one, because what they do is they'll put them all on one big invoice. It makes it harder for you to kind of decipher through. It really does. It makes it so much harder for you to decipher through. So you need to send me an invoice. If we have Bel Air job, I need an invoice for Bel Air job with all the tickets. If we have 16th Street, I need an invoice for 16th Street with all the tickets. If we have Fairmont, I need Fairmont's job with all the tickets. Granted, Fairmont and 16th is the same job, but it's two different jobs. And in reality, it's 2 different jobs. It's the same location, 2 different jobs. Yes, the location is the same, but one is on site, one is off site. So I need all of those to be 3 different ones with all the tickets attached. If you do this, this will help you to make sure, 1, you stay organized, 2, you're not overpaying, and 3, the vendor's not trying to get over on you. And so today I realized that I'm glad I caught it before I paid it out. Because another thing that I realized is I would have paid out maybe in total, I don't know, $1,500 for 2 weeks of pay. I would have overpaid. So I'm just saying it to say you really got to take your time. And I know it's tedious. It's super tedious and you don't want to do it, but you really got to take your time and sit down and be like, let me get all these tickets together. Let me make sure everything matches up. Let me make sure this, and this goes together. If you do not, you're going to be in a world of trouble. Period. You're going to be in a world of trouble. So I just decided to do this little video for y'all real quick while I was in the process of doing this. So I'm gonna get back to these invoices because I got tickets, invoices. I got a lot of stuff to go through. So I'm going to get back into that, making sure I get everything together. I just wanted to drop this little bit of knowledge on you all. If you got questions, drop them in the comment section below, and I'll try my hardest to answer as many questions as I can. But yeah, it's Money Monday, invoice day. Make sure you stand on top of that. And the key takeaway from this is it's okay to delegate responsibilities. That's what I struggle with the most. And because of that, I'm in this situation right now, and I can be transparent and tell you all that. So make sure you have a good team. Delegate the work task so it's not all on you. And then lastly, when you delegate work, it keeps that personal relationship between you and the vendor very separate. So there's no personal relationship. Nobody can play on your emotions. You can't, none of that. You need to always have a middleman somewhere so that you don't have so much, people don't have so much, what's the word I'm trying to say? People don't have so much availability to you. So that's all I want to say. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, and I'm gonna drop another video later for my series. And yeah, that's it. So I'll talk to y'all later.